What's going on? It's Justeeni here. We are in the finals of the IMO qualifier, where it all comes down to this one best of three, and the competition is as tough as ever against the second seed of this tournament, with me being the first seed. Le Libatoire. You may recognize that name. He's pretty good at the game. He was in Sweden last year. So I'm kind of shaking in my boots a little, but my spawn is phenomenal and I'm hosting game one, so let's just get right into thing. Another thing is also, Lelib didn't drop a single game getting up to this point. 2 ode and 1 ode, everyone. But this spawn is beautiful. Forestry. But then they capture this, which is a little annoying. I go explore, meet them. Another capture though after that, and I can upgrade and I can chop another warrior. But like, I can chop a lot of force, but also I am prepping my market spots, believe it or not. So I have a super fast opening. I'm just hoping I get a ruin here that gives me anything of any value. That's really all I'm looking for here, because the opponent's gonna get the rest of the map. I'm pretty late, and of course there's a mountain in the way, which is annoying. But it's a little unfortunate. So now I go climbing, find nothing, of course. Now math, get some upgrades. And I'm going very greedy here. But this Mindbender can at least pressure a little bit, but then I just come back. Just trying to be annoying. But now turn 9 trade. No ruins, by the way. Literally 0 ruins. 1 single lighthouse. I just had that many animals and forests with my spawn that I was able to develop really quickly. Turn 9 market, level 5 too. Good market, good stuff on turn 9. But then this is where things start to go a little downhill, because at this moment, I'll tell you what I should have done. I should have made a catapult here. Instead, I went for these markets, which makes a lot of sense. Like, you get so much star per turn on markets. Why wouldn't you do this? But I need this catapult here. Why do I need this catapult? I need to pressure the city, and I need to prevent something else. What is that other thing? This. I needed to prevent this. Leylib, seeing the shape of this map, goes catapults himself, and this is going to be a huge problem. But I still have a chance to get a catapult on this city. It is not too late, but it's still not as ideal to be a turn late getting the catapult. But instead, I focus on getting the giant so I can attack sooner, which again makes sense in the moment. In hindsight, unfortunately not the play. I also go with this very greedy border growth because I wanted to potentially go in the water. But yeah, this is the problem here. This catapult sees this city. That's just locking me out of producing a unit, and I'm on 3 cities with 33 star per turn. My limiting factor is training units, so losing out on this is a huge deal. Delaying my economy just to make sure I have this city able to make units would have been worth it. So if I want to make units here, I have to deal with the catapult. Now I can get some really good pressure here, which is nice. I go fishing. My plan to like deal with this after I saw the catapult was just, I'm going to get 2 giants and then I'm going to attack these. And hope that works. Now they live going for the defense again. So many catapults here. It's a little bit obnoxious. But then I decided to back up the giant. So initially, I was just going to put the giant in the port. And then bada bing, bada boom. But then I kind of backed down last minute, which I probably shouldn't have done. This giant is really stupid in this port now. And again, these catapults are still here. Now there was an alternate plan. Instead of doing all this with the giants, there was something else I could do. I also go strategy. Like, I'm really trying to go in the water. This just isn't a good play. Because you can just see this city is very useless. And if I get rid of the catapults, that's one thing I can do. But the other thing is I go chivalry, which I could have done this like 2 turns ago if I didn't go for all this nonsense here. Because knights are a very nice out. I can pressure so much with just spamming like knights, even just from 2 cities. That's 2 full knights, just throwing them at the opponent every single turn. Hopefully causing a lot of problems. As soon as these catapults are cleared out of the way, which isn't too hard. If I just have a knight, I believe right here, I can road towards a catapult in this general area. And if I take their capital, I just win. I can even go for like diplomacy, get cloaks and whatever. I get the city, which I know I'm not keeping it, but I can explore at least. And yeah, now I see bomber. And again, all these ranged units, I have the knight to deal with, but it's a little slow. I need more knights. I just need to be able to brute force through this. I get a nice city wall though. But yeah, it's kind of a little hard to break through. Even though, again, my economy is amazing and I have 5 cities, but basically 4 because the city's going to be gone. I can get some scouts. I'm finally pressuring these, but like I should have done it earlier, or I should have not even bothered and just gone for knights. Like either or, honestly. Instead, I kind of chose like the worst of every world, and also I let them bet the catapult because they didn't pay attention to kills. Yeah, really not my proudest game, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm still playing it out because it is still very possible for Lib to mess this up. Because I'm very close to just killing this giant and then breaking through and then sieging capital and then winning the game. And will that happen? Well, I still can't kill these catapults, which is annoying. And then now, naval dominance here. Kind of a race against the clock again. If I just siege the capital and take it, I just win. I don't care how much naval dominance they have. I just need their capital. And I can siege their capital, but I cannot keep it. And again, if I was just like 2 turns faster, you know, I think maybe it would have been a different story because it is pretty close. It is a little bit close. Now, I'm pretty sure Lib was saving monuments. He's a gate of power now. And now the cloaks are going to be there. And again, I'm just trying to like do all this pressure that I can to get another giant. So many units here, but it's just a little too weak and a little bit too slow. And if I had either dealt with these catapults so then I could spam more units like from this city, which has been useless for ever since they got catapults there themselves, which again, I could have used a catapult also myself to deny. Lots of different lines that I kind of missed out on, which is a bit of a shame. I'm just not able to get it done, just too slow. I have all this economy, but just not able to use it effectively to win. So I do lose game 1, but I still have a chance to make that reverse sweep, so I'll cut to the next match. Alright, game 2, this time not hosting. I see their terrain immediately, so I decide, you know what, let's risk it for the brisket. I'm gonna walk my mindbender towards them. And sure enough, pays off immediately. I'm just better at the game, I guess. Go org, get the upgrade, warrior, and they cannot kick me off, so they decide to walk away instead. And I am going to be able to hold. Now I misplay here because in this position, I was thinking, oh, they siege. So then I have just enough to make a rider. And then after I unsiege and make a rider, they're not going to be able to re-siege. However, I didn't play around this. I can still unsiege, which is why I thought they wouldn't go for it. I just get climbing. But the problem is, well, I have to get climbing. Now I can't get the rider. I have to make a warrior instead. But I should have done this at this point. If I made a warrior now, things would end up a little different because I'll show you what happens again. So they force climbing, and I do it like this, and then I make the warrior, then they kill by climbing, see the village, hop on the village, and they're going to be able to take the village at least for some time and distract me. And just that alone is huge here. It turns this from I have an advantage to I have a disadvantage because I have to waste so much time dealing with this. I can still get the rider. You can see I have enough star per turn here. Also, you can see where they retreat the rider. Very suspicious. Right there. Huh. Right where my warrior could just kill it. Why would they do that? Maybe there's tons of terrain in the way. Except, no. How'd they get their riders here so easily if there's tons of terrain in the way? There's a mindbender there, of course. So I'm not going to fall for that. I'm going to just heal my warrior. But yeah, they take this. And again, if we go all the way back, if I just trained a warrior here earlier, like at this point, trained a warrior here, They would have never had this happen because they just hit their rider. Then they can't kill a warrior. Can't do any of this. But now we get to this point, and I have to deal with this stupid rider here, causing me problems 3 turns down the line because of a warrior that I didn't train 3 turns ago. Really quite the headache. But yeah, sure enough, there's a Mindbender. I hit this rider, which I guess was kind of in vain because I have a Mindbender there. Really wise thinking there, Justeeni. And more heals. They just weaken my stuff again. Not worth killing this because they actually cannot retreat safely. I go for roads also, by the way. Like, why don't I upgrade this? Well, because they can siege. And I need to get road connection here. Roads in general is just really useful in this situation. So yeah, but the problem is I have to spam units. So, and I also misplay here. Yeah, I put my warrior here. It was to play around rider bounces, so they can't bounce here. But I forgot they just moved their warrior. They can't kill with any of the riders. It's only the warrior that could kill, but I just forgot. Oh yeah, they can do that. And then that's what they do, sure enough. It's kind of obvious in retrospect. And they get a giant because they got a pop rune. And I can't unsiege, and I cry. So, a little bit of an anticlimactic ending. I mean, it was kind of, I threw, and then I threw. But, yeah. Lelib showing why he's one of the best players, taking advantage of every single mistake I make. Not dropping a game the entire tournament, by the way, because he swept me as well. But, yeah, Lelib managing to make it to the qualifier finals instead of me. But it was a pretty interesting set nonetheless. But, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.